Here with my guy, Landon Knack. First, Landon, you throw live BP. How you feeling after that?
Feeling pretty good, yeah. Stuff's in a pretty good spot. So we got 3 of the 4 going pretty good. A little bit of work needed on the slider, but everything is feeling pretty good.
As far as stuff-wise right now, compared to like last season, do you feel better this time around just where you're at?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the throw is in a much better spot right now. I think shape-wise, everything is kind of where I want it to be. It's just some fine-tuning little things now.
Yeah, and this time last year, you're like, oh, am I going to make my big league debut? What would that be like? You've done that. You checked that box off. How much confidence does that give you heading into the season? Know you've already reached that milestone.
A lot more confidence, yeah. You're feeling a lot more comfortable coming in here, knowing exactly kind of what you need to do and what you need to work on as you're getting in here, and yeah, just feeling good about things and knowing that, like, obviously you already have seen that you've had success, that your stuff plays, and so just a lot more confidence coming in now.
Yeah, and Dave was saying today that this is an organization where some young players that would be starting, would be top of the rotation for other teams, might just be fighting for a roster spot. You have so much talent here. It's kind of what's the mindset you have to have as a young player, knowing that a lot of other teams, you're like right at the front of that rotation. It's kind of what's the mindset dealing with that and the long-term effects of it?
I mean, a lot of it is just continuing to control what you can control. I mean, you're around so much talent over here. It's a blessing and a curse with it, but it's also a lot of fun to be able to come in here and compete with these guys, pick their brains a little bit, and just be around that level of talent. And then just being part of winning culture, of course, too, has just been so great. And so, yeah, you're as you're kind of looking forward towards things, you just realize opportunities are going to come, and so you just got to take care of what you can and be ready.
Yeah, and your role last year was like, you need a guy to get the job done. It's Landon Knack, and step into any role you have for him. He's going to go out there and be effective. What's kind of your mindset as far as the role you can have for this year's team?
I think I showed last year that I can be pretty versatile, and so it was a good experience to whatever role that we need this year, whether we get to start games, whether they need me out of the pen, kind of whatever the roster shapes up to be and what we're needed to do. I mean, I think we kind of made ourselves more valuable in being able to do multiple things.
And talk about kind of like the difference as far as like a starter versus coming out of the pen in this show. Is it a big difference for you as far as just like heading into that?
It's not a big difference as far as once you're actually out there. It's a little bit of different prep. Of course, you gotta, once you're in the pen, you kind of want to try to stick to as doing the same thing every single day as much as you can, and just being as consistent as possible. When you're a starter, you kind of have each day has its own thing, and so it's a small difference, but I mean, it's still the same mindset once you kind of get going.
Yeah, as far as physically, we talked to you a couple years ago just about the diet, just changing things up. Where are you at physically heading into this season, and did you do anything different heading into 2025?
We feel in a pretty good spot right now. Yeah, we lost a little bit of weight after the off season. Just tried to cut down a little bit. We were eating the right type of things, but still eating just a little bit too much last year. So I can't help but gain 10 pounds every season for some reason. And so it's just trying to be a little bit more mindful of that. So we dropped down right now. We're about 210 right now, a much better spot, and just feeling pretty good. So yeah, the diet's in a good spot. Body's feeling good, still feeling strong even with that drop. And so I think we're in a good spot coming in.
What's your biggest off-season cheat meal?
In and out.
In and
honestly,
out?
Yeah.
What's your order? Drop it.
A little 3x3 animal style, animal fry.
There it is.
So.
There it is. As far as kind of looking back at your rookie season and just your experience on the mound, is there one thing that you kind of look at as far as your assessment that you just pinpointed when to get better at this season?
I think it's. I think most of the year last year I was really just trying to find the throw as the year went on and just trying to make it work with what we had. I think really this year it's trying to get things where we want them as like kind of early as possible and just be able to go out there and just focus on keeping things fine-tuned and just getting outs. And so I think just building off of kind of what we learned, pitch sequencing, and kind of just all of what we learned, and just take that in and just hit the ground running.
Yeah, as far as the dogs, the bullpen, is it still carried over into 2025, or is that staying to 2024?
I feel like it's probably coming over. Yeah, we got the core in there. We added a couple pieces. Having Tanner Scott's gonna be a lot of fun to watch that guy in the pen. As nasty as we watched him be against us, it's nice to have him over here. And so I think the bullpen's going to have a lot of that same dog mentality.
As far as some of these new additions, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Blake Snell, Roki Sasaki, I mean, that addition of talent, is there any kind of moment where you're out there and you kind of see those guys, you're like, I kind of take that for my game as like inspiration, just kind of look at those guys?
Yeah, you kind of see what guys are doing, try to pick their brains a little bit, and just kind of understand, like, some guys have different routines and like throw different things. You just try to pick their brains on like why they started doing that, like why that helps them. And so just kind of pick and choose like what you think is helpful for you. And so yeah, absolutely, having dudes with that much experience and that kind of different levels of success doing different things, it's a cool thing to pick up on.
Anything stand out watching Roki?
That dude is just so mobile. Like, watching that throw, how how whippy everything is, and there's just like so many moving parts, but it's just so fluid at the same time. Like it's electric coming out. Like it's fun.
That splitter live up to the hype?
Oh yeah. No, the splitters on this team now are ridiculous. I mean, obviously you already knew about Shohei and Yoshi's having Roki and Tony coming back with his split. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
And those guys have a ton of talent, but you have a ton of talent yourself. The goal, though, has to be to make this team, right? To make that 26 man and just help this team any way you can.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to obviously fight to get that spot and just kind of continue to put out what we can and just put ourselves in a good position for whatever role they put us in. And so we're feeling good about where we are.
Awesome. Well, Landon, thank you so much. They're going to have a big year.